You need enough good reasons to make a step of faith. To trust that the one who had been crucified rose as his first disciples said, and that people have been continuing to meet him ever since. Now, the second part of the atheists' little conference byline is a celebration of reason. So I want to give you some reasons why we should be celebrating tonight, if you need them. The first reason is that the resurrection of Jesus means that we can know God. The resurrection of Jesus means that we can know God. Because he's risen, because he's alive, because we can know him, we can know God with us and within us. My friends, that's the most extraordinary thing. That is the most wonderful news. Because not only do we know God, but we know just what God's like in this moment. Because all of the things that Jesus said was true. The reason why he went to the cross, all of that has been vindicated by his resurrection. And that means that God is love. That means that God is unfathomable mercy. That means that God is true hope, true beauty, true joy, true peace. It's because Jesus is risen that we know what God is really like. We know the incredible difference that it makes to have discovered him. The second thing, the second reason, if you like, for our celebration tonight is because a new creation has been unleashed in the world. Something new takes place. You get a hint of that in the gospel tonight when we're told that the women came down to the tomb just as the sun was rising. That's very deliberate symbolism, my friends. What it's saying to us is that something new is going on in the life of men and women. That because of Jesus, love has been unleashed in the world in a whole new way. And it seems obvious to us today that the meaning of life is to love one another. And it seems obvious to us today that you're supposed to care for every person. And it seems obvious today that the poorest and the weakest and the least, that those who are marginalised or excluded are the ones that we should love the most. That seems obvious. But you know what? It wasn't obvious to the people of the Roman Empire. That's something new that comes with Christianity, because Jesus told us about it. He said that every person matters. And the first followers of Jesus were the weakest in the Roman society. They were slaves. They were women. They were everybody who was excluded or left out. Why? Because all of a sudden they realised that they had worth and dignity and value and that they mattered. And the church again and again said, you've got to care for those people. Why? Because Jesus told us to. Something new was unleashed in the world. A power of loving that the pagan world did not know. And if we take it for granted today that that's the meaning of life, that love is supposed to reach out to every person, that nobody should be denied, that everybody is equal in dignity in the sight of God, that's because of the effect of Christianity. Don't take that for granted. Don't take that for granted. That's possible because of Jesus' message. And it's possible that we believe that now because it didn't die with him on the cross, but because he's risen. And when we forget that, and our society is in grave danger of forgetting that at this point in time, then the outcome of that will be that we will start to lose our humanity. That some people will not be considered worthy of our love and care and respect. That the weakest and the most marginalised amongst us, they may have new faces and names, will be left out, will be excluded, will be discriminated against, will even be, perhaps, killed. Just as it happened in the society in which Christianity was born. A new humanity was born. And we have reason to celebrate that tonight. Because it says that you matter and that I matter, and the person that you don't like the most matters, and the person that you love the most matters, that we all matter in the sight of God. Every single one of us. That's good news. It was extraordinary news to the people of Jesus' time in the early Roman Empire. It was amazing news because they simply didn't believe it. They simply didn't think it was true. Which leads us to the third reason why we've got something to celebrate tonight. And that's that the resurrection brings joy. I don't know if you've noticed that, but if Jesus really is risen, if he's really conquered the power of sin and death, if you know that you have an eternal destiny, if you know that you have a value and worth and dignity, then there's a joy that marks the Christian. There's a confidence, not an arrogance or a pride, but a confidence that no matter what happens, love will win. That no matter what happens, the light is stronger than the darkness. That no matter what happens, goodness will overcome. Violence will be defeated. That's the promise of our faith. But you know, the challenge for us, and the implication of that for us tonight, is that we're to live it. That we're to live that joy. That we're to live out the implications and consequences of following the risen Jesus. Because unless we're prepared to do that, the people down the road have got reasons for their disbelief. I guarantee to you that the vast majority of people who will go to the Atheist Convention next weekend will be angry in some way about Christianity, and about Christians in particular. They'll have been hurt because we failed to be the people that Jesus has called us to be. We failed to live the resurrection life. We failed to live the joy. We failed to live the hope that he's called us to. We failed to be the bringers of that new humanity. Now that's not enough reason for people to give up on Christianity. Let's be realistic about the human condition here and about the reality of a human institution like the church. What it does point to us, what it invites us to, is to recommit ourselves tonight, to say yes again to the risen Jesus, to say yes again to joy, and to say yes again to that new humanity, so that people might know that God is real, that we have a God of incredible love, a love that knows no depths or boundaries, a love that knows no limits. Let's by our lives, by the choices we make, by the joy that people can see and touch in our faces, but in our very practical care and love, let them know that Jesus is risen by that. Let our testimony, the witness of our lives, the words that we speak, be the sign that our world needs to know that he is alive. That the word of those women and those first disciples is the truth. That nobody was making it up. That the news is good, it's great, and it's true. We have an incredible reason to celebrate tonight, because tonight truly is the night of nights.